Good morning dear students. Welcome to today's class. In the last class we saw about cosine function and inverse cosine function. In this class we are going to see about tangent function and inverse tangent function. Now we are going to see about the tangent function and the inverse tangent function. The period of tangent function is pi. Therefore, we can consider the interval minus pi by 2, pi by 2 and construct the following table to draw the graph of y equal to tan x where x belongs to open interval minus pi by 2, pi by 2. So what we are going to do now is in between minus pi by 2 and pi by 2 we have to take some values and we have to find the corresponding value of y. So first you take x as minus 60. So when we replace x by minus 60 here, y equal to tan of minus 60. Tan of minus theta is minus tan theta. So you'll get minus tan 60. So minus tan 60 is root 3. Okay, so you'll get minus root 3. Same way when we replace x by minus pi by 4, here you'll get tan of minus pi by 4. Tan of minus theta is minus tan theta. So minus tan 45, it is minus 1. Then minus 30 we have here. Tan of minus 30 is minus tan 30. So you'll get minus 1 by root 3. 1 by root 3, you can multiply and divide by root 3. So like this you'll get minus root 3 by 3. When we replace x by 0, tan 0 is 0. Then tan 30 is 1 by root 3 you can write or root 3 by 3. Tan 45 is 1. Tan 60 is root 3. Now the next one, graph of y equal to tan x. The domain is minus pi by 2, pi by 2. Here we have the graph. First subdivision, when x tends to pi by 2, y tends to infinity. That is, when we replace x by pi by 2, what we'll get here? Tan 90 is infinity. So the y value becomes infinity. So x is equal to this pi by 2 is a vertical asymptote to the graph. Okay. So asymptote, the concept is this. When x tends to a finite value, if y becomes plus or minus infinity means then x is equal to that finite value is said to be a vertical asymptote. So you can see here, these two dotted lines are said to be the vertical asymptote. Okay. So asymptote means it is a tangent to the given curve whose point of intersection is at plus infinity and minus infinity. That is, usually tangent means what you'll say, it touches the given curve at exactly one point, isn't it? But here, it will not touch each other, but the line, that is this line will be very close to the curve. So only we are saying it is a tangent at plus or minus infinity. That is, it will not touch each other, but it will be very close to that. So that only we have here. Second subdivision, same way, when x tends to minus pi by 2. So if we replace x by minus pi by 2, y tends to minus infinity. You can replace it here. Tan of minus 90 is minus tan 90, it is minus infinity. So here what we have, x is equal to minus pi by 2 is the vertical asymptote to the graph. So here they are mentioning this line, x equal to minus pi by 2. Third point, the interval minus pi by 2, pi by 2 is called the principal domain of y equal to tan x. Now we can see the graph of y equal to tan x. So here we have the graph of y equal to tan x in the interval minus 2 pi to 2 pi. So first subdivision, tan x can be written as sin x by cos x. If cos x is equal to 0, what you can say, x is equal to 2n plus 1 into pi by 2, where n is an integer. The reason is cos theta equal to 0 means theta will be of this form. The tangent function is increasing and have vertical asymptotes at x equal to 2n plus 1 into pi by 2, where n is an integer. So this tangent function curve is increasing and it has not only one asymptote. In the previous slide we saw two asymptotes, isn't it? But here we have infinite number of asymptotes. You see here x equal to pi by 2 is an asymptote, x equal to 3 pi by 2 is an asymptote. Same way here we have minus pi by 2 minus 3 pi by 2. So it will be going on. Generally we can say the vertical asymptotes are of the form x equal to 2n plus 1 into pi by 2 where n is an integer. Next point, the graph is symmetric with respect to x equal to n pi where n is an integer. That is x is equal to 0 plus or minus pi plus or minus 2 pi etc. Here the graph is symmetric about origin. Symmetric about origin means if we take a point x comma y on the given curve, minus x comma minus y also lies on the given curve. So it is symmetric about origin. Now we can see the properties of tangent function. From the graph of y equal to tan x, we observe the following properties. First point, the graph is not continuous and has discontinuity points at x equal to 2n plus 1 into pi by 2 where n is an integer. Okay, that is the graph is not continuous because we have an asymptote there, isn't it? And it is discontinuous at that particular points. So x is equal to 2n plus 1 into pi by 2. Second subdivision, the partial graph is symmetrical about the origin for minus pi by 2 less than x less than pi by 2. Okay, that is we know that the graph is symmetrical about the origin and the particular interval is given from minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Third point, the tangent function has neither maximum nor minimum. That is the range of tangent function is from minus infinity to plus infinity. So we cannot say what is the maximum value as well as the minimum value. Remark. First subdivision, the graph of y equal to a tan bx goes through one complete cycle for minus pi by 2 times modulus of b less than x less than pi by 2 times modulus of b, and its period is pi by modulus of b. That is, if the given curve is of the form y equal to a tan bx, then one complete cycle lies in this interval and its period is of the form pi by modulus of b. For example, you can take the graph y equal to tan x. For this curve, the period is pi because b value is equal to 1. Next point, for y equal to a tan bx, the asymptotes are the lines x equal to pi by 2 times modulus of b plus pi by modulus of b into k where k is an integer. So if the given curve is of this form y equal to a tan bx, then the equation of vertical asymptotes is of this form where k is an integer. Therefore, for the graph y equal to tan x, the asymptotes are, here instead of b you have to replace 1. So x is equal to pi by 2 plus pi k, which is equal to, you can take the LCM. So pi plus 2 pi k by 2. You can take pi by 2 commonly outside. So you will get here 2k plus 1 into pi by 2 where k is an integer. So this is the vertical asymptote of the tangent function. Next point. Since the tangent function has no maximum and minimum value, the amplitude is not defined. So the range of tangent function is from minus infinity to plus infinity. The amplitude means what? It is the maximum height. Since we don't know the maximum value, the amplitude of the given tangent function is not defined. Next one, the inverse tangent function and its properties. Tan function is from open interval minus pi by 2 comma pi by 2 to r. It is a bijective function. We define the inverse tangent function with r as its domain and open interval minus pi by 2 comma pi by 2 as its range. Definition. For any real number x, we define tan inverse x as the unique number y in this interval minus pi by 2 comma pi by 2 such that tan y is equal to x. That is, tan inverse is defined from minus infinity comma infinity to minus pi by 2 comma pi by 2 and is defined by tan inverse of x is equal to y if and only if tan y is equal to x and this y belongs to open interval minus pi by 2 comma pi by 2. Next one, from the definition of y equal to tan inverse x, we observe the following. First subdivision, y equal to tan inverse x if and only if x equal to tan y for x belong to R, that is real number, and y lies in open interval minus pi by 2 comma pi by 2. Second point, tan of tan inverse x is equal to x for any real number x. Third point, tan inverse of tan x is equal to x if and only if x lies in open interval minus pi by 2 comma pi by 2. So note that tan inverse of tan pi is equal to 0. So you see here tan inverse of tan pi is equal to 0 and not pi. Why we are not writing pi here? You can see this point, tan inverse of tan x is equal to x only if x lies in open interval minus pi by 2 comma pi by 2, isn't it? Since pi does not lies in this interval, we did not write that pi. Tan inverse of tan pi equal to, I can write it as tan inverse of 0. Tan pi the value is 0. So tan inverse of 0 means it is equal to 0. According to that condition only we have written here tan inverse of tan pi is equal to 0. Now we can see the graph of inverse tangent function. Tan inverse is defined from minus infinity comma infinity to open interval minus pi by 2 comma pi by 2. The tangent function is undefined at minus pi by 2 and at pi by 2. So the graph of y equal to tan inverse x lies strictly between the two lines y equal to minus pi by 2 and y equal to pi by 2 and never touches these two lines. That is, the two lines y equal to minus pi by 2 and y equal to pi by 2 are horizontal asymptotes to y equal to tan inverse x.
Now we are going to see how to construct the table for drawing the inverse tangent function. When x is equal to minus 1, y equal to tan inverse of minus 1, which is equal to minus tan inverse 1, because tan inverse of minus x is equal to minus tan inverse x. That is equal to minus tan inverse 1 is pi by 4. So minus pi by 4 we'll get. Second subdivision, when x is equal to 0, y is equal to tan inverse of 0, which is equal to 0. Third subdivision, when x is equal to minus root 3 by 3, that is minus 1 by root 3, y is equal to tan inverse of minus root 3 by 3. It is equal to minus tan inverse root 3 by 3, that is 1 by root 3. So I can write it as minus pi by 6. Next point, when x is equal to 1, y equal to tan inverse 1, which is equal to pi by 4. So what are the values we have found out here that I have given in this table.
Graph of y equal to tan x and y equal to tan inverse x. Here we have the graph of y equal to tan x and y equal to tan inverse x. See the curve y equal to tan inverse x. Here we have the horizontal asymptotes. Y equal to pi by 2 and y equal to minus pi by 2 are the horizontal asymptotes. And the curve is strictly increasing in between minus pi by 2 comma pi by 2. In tangent function we have the vertical asymptotes x equal to pi by 2 and x equal to minus pi by 2. In inverse tangent function we have the horizontal asymptotes y equal to minus pi by 2 and y equal to pi by 2. Note, first subdivision, whenever we talk about inverse tangent function, we have tan function from open interval minus pi by 2 comma pi by 2 to R, and tan inverse is defined from R to open interval minus pi by 2 comma pi by 2. Second point, the restricted domain open interval minus pi by 2 comma pi by 2 is called the principal domain of tangent function, and the values of y equal to tan inverse x, where x belongs to R, are known as principal values of the function y. Note, first point, the inverse tangent function is strictly increasing and it is continuous on the domain minus infinity comma infinity. The graph of y equal to tan inverse x passes through origin. Third point, the graph is symmetric with respect to origin, and hence y equal to tan inverse x is an odd function. So if a graph is symmetric about origin means then the given function will be an odd function. And symmetric about origin means what? If we take a point x comma y in the given curve, minus x comma minus y also lies in the given curve. Now we can see the first sum in exercise 4.3. Find the domain of the following functions. First subdivision, tan inverse of root of 9 minus x square. Second subdivision, 1 by 2 into tan inverse of 1 minus x square minus pi by 4. Solution, the domain of tan inverse x is minus infinity comma infinity. Here instead of x we have root of 9 minus x square. So root of 9 minus x square is real. If this value is real means what is given inside the square root should be a non-negative value. If this become a negative value means root of a negative value is imaginary. So we are saying 9 minus x square is greater than or equal to 0. From this you can write 9 is greater than or equal to x square. That is this minus x square you can take it to the next side. That is, we can rearrange it now. X square is less than or equal to 9. X square is less than or equal to 9 means you can take the positive square root modulus of x. That is less than or equal to 3. If modulus of x is less than or equal to 3, x lies between minus 3 and plus 3. So x belongs to closed interval minus 3 comma 3 you can write. Second subdivision. Here also we have the condition, the domain of tan inverse x is minus infinity comma infinity. Instead of x, in this question we have 1 minus x square. Okay, you don't want to see other terms. Along with the inverse tangent function, what x term is given, that alone you have to take. So 1 minus x square exists for all x belong to R. That is, when we replace x by any real number, 1 minus x square exists. It does not become plus or minus infinity or imaginary. So we can say the domain is equal to minus infinity comma infinity or R. Now we get the next one. We have to find the value of tan inverse of tan 5 pi by 4. Solution. We know that tan inverse of tan x is equal to x, where x belongs to open interval minus pi by 2 comma pi by 2, which is equal to, that is here we have tan inverse of tan 5 pi by 4. 5 pi by 4 does not lies in the given interval. So 5 pi by 4 can be written as 4 pi plus pi by 4. Why I am writing 4 pi plus pi is in the denominator we have 4. It is equal to tan inverse of, we can separate the terms, 4 pi by 4 means pi plus pi by 4. It is equal to tan inverse of tan pi plus theta is tan theta because it lies in the third quadrant. So you can write it as tan inverse of tan pi by 4. It is equal to pi by 4 because now it is of the form tan inverse of x, tan inverse of tan x, which is equal to x, where x lies in the interval minus pi by 2 comma pi by 2. Now we can see the next sum. Find the value of first subdivision tan inverse 7 pi by 4. Solution. We know that tan of tan inverse x is equal to x, where x is a real number. Therefore, tan of tan inverse of 7 pi by 4 equal to 7 pi by 4, because 7 pi by 4 is a real number. Fourth question, find the value of first subdivision tan of cos inverse 1 by 2 minus sin inverse minus 1 by 2. So, I have written the question first. It is equal to, okay, so tan of, instead of this cos inverse 1 by 2, how we can write, whenever inverse is there, it is an angle, okay. So, the angle whose cos value is 1 by 2. Cos 60 is only 1 by 2. So, you have to write 60 degree, that is pi by 3. Then we have a minus sign, write the same minus here. Then sin inverse of minus x is equal to minus sin inverse x. So that minus only I have written here. Then sin inverse of 1 by 2 will be there. Sin inverse of 1 by 2 means the angle is 30 degree. So minus pi by 6 will get here. It is equal to tan of pi by 3. Then minus into minus it will become plus. So plus pi by 6. It is equal to, you can take the LCM. When we take the LCM, it will be 2 pi plus pi, that is 3 pi by 6. You can cancel 1 3. So tan pi by 2 you will get. Tan 90 is equal to infinity. Now we have to find the value of sin of tan inverse of 1 by 2 minus cos inverse of 4 by 5. So tan inverse of 1 by 2 is equal to, you can see the triangle here. Tan inverse of 1 by 2 means, for tan, how we will take, it is opposite side by adjacent side, isn't it? So you can take this angle as theta. Our opposite side is 1, adjacent side is 2. If you know two sides, you can find the third side, isn't it? It is the hypotenuse here. So root of a square plus b square. Root of 4 plus 1, it will become 5. So root 5 you will get. Now we want to convert this tan inverse into sin inverse, because outside we have sin, isn't it? So inside what are the terms we have, that we have to convert it to sin inverse. So sin inverse of, sin means it is opposite side by hypotenuse. So 1 divided by root 5 you will get. Same way you can see the next triangle. Here we have cos inverse 4 by 5. So cos means it is adjacent side by hypotenuse. So adjacent side is 4, hypotenuse is 5. Now we can find the third side. Here it is root of a square minus b square. So root of 25 minus 16, it is root 9 equal to 3. So to sin inverse means opposite side by hypotenuse. It is 3 by 5. Sin of tan inverse of 1 by 2 minus cos inverse of 4 by 5. It is equal to sin of sin inverse 1 by root 5 minus sin inverse 3 by 5. So what values we have found out already, that we are replacing here. Now we are applying the formula sin inverse x minus sin inverse y is equal to sin inverse of x into root of 1 minus y square minus y into root of 1 minus x square. So according to that formula, this is our x value and this is our y value. So sin inverse of x value 1 by root 5 into root of 1 minus y square. So 3 by 5 the whole square is 9 by 25 minus y into, that is 3 by 5 into root of 1 minus x square. 1 by root 5 the whole square is 1 by 5. It is equal to sin of sin inverse. We have to simplify this. 1 by root 5 we have here. Then here if you take the LCM, 25 minus 9, it is 16. 16 by 25, the root of that is 4 by 5. Minus, here if you simplify, 5 minus 1, it is 4. 4 by 5 you will get. The root of that is 2 by root 5. So 2 into 3, it is 6. 6 divided by 5 root 5. It is equal to sin of sin inverse of, here the denominator value is same, just we can subtract the numerator. 4 minus 6 is minus 2. So minus 2 by 5 root 5. Now it is of the form sin of sin inverse x, where x belongs to closed interval minus 1 comma 1. So sine and sine inverse you can remove. You can write minus 2 by 5 root. Third subdivision, cos of sine inverse 4 by 5 minus tan inverse 3 by 4. It is equal to cos of cos inverse 3 by 5 minus cos inverse 4 by 5. So how we are getting this step is, here we have sine inverse. For sine, we will take opposite side by hypotenuse. So our opposite side is 4, hypotenuse is 5. If we know 2 side, we can find the other side. Root of 5 square minus 4 square. So root 9, it is equal to 3. So cos inverse of adjacent side by hypotenuse, 3 by 5 you will get. Same way, if you construct a triangle for this, you will get cos inverse of 4 by 5. It is equal to, here I am applying the formula, cos inverse x minus cos inverse y is equal to cos inverse of xy plus root of 1 minus x square into root of 1 minus y square. So cos of cos inverse of our x value is 3 by 5 into y value is 4 by 5 plus root of 1 minus x square. So 3 by 5 the whole square into root of 1 minus y square, 4 by 5 the whole square. It is equal to cos of cos inverse of 12 plus 25. Here if you simplify, 3 into 4 12 by 25 plus root of 1 minus 9 by 25 is equal to 25 minus 9 means 16 by 25. It is 4 by 5. Into root of here 25 minus 16 means 9 by 25. Its square root is 3 by 5. So cos of cos inverse of, you see the denominator values are same, 25 and here also 25 you will get. Numerator 12 plus this also 12. So 24 by 25. We have the property cos of cos inverse x is equal to x if x belongs to closed interval minus 1 comma 1. Since this 24 by 25 is less than 1, you can remove cos and cos inverse. It is equal to 24 by 25. Now homework. First sum example 4.8, second example 4.9, third example 4.10, fourth exercise 4.3, second one, second subdivision, third one, second subdivision and third subdivision. Most of the sums are very easy sums only. In 1 or 2 lines you will get the answer. Thank you dear students.